broke down. Pretty bad. I've got a bit of an issue. It's broke. Another job that I've got to add to the list. Broke. Thing popped out and broke down. Come on, Maud, what are you doing to me? Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes, and the other day on the way home from work, Maud, my MAUDE MK2 Escort, broke down. She lost all electrical power and I thought I was actually going to have to call the recovery. Luckily I did manage to get her running and got her back home, and this morning before work I'm hoping to go round to my garage and fix her. Right, so what happened the other day is the positive battery lead basically melted, all the insulation stripped off, and that's because where it was leaning on the cross member, it basically ate through the insulation and then shorted out, and I lost all electrics on the car, completely drained the battery. But what I was able to do is put these gloves in between the lead and the battery tray there, and also in between the lead and the cross member down there, and then I was able to push start the car on my own, and that's something you can't do with your modern heavy German whips. And then I was able to get the car home. So today I'm going to fit this new battery lead that I got from Lloyd's Motor Spares in South Harrow. Now this positive battery lead does have this sort of rubber sleeve around it, but yeah, I had it just sitting there rather than having it in between the lead and the cross member down there. Now this battery lead that's fitted is a little bit short as well, to be honest, so it was sort of under tension, so yeah, that wasn't ideal. But this one I've bought is 3 foot long, so it should be easily long enough. But the first thing I'm going to do is jack the car up and remove the lead from the starter motor end. And unfortunately I don't have a trolley jack here, so I'm going to have to use this silly jack. Just attach the new lead to the start motor, and then that's all the work under the car done. And there you can see the extent of the damage. Pretty bad. Yeah, luckily I didn't fry anything on the car. Didn't even blow a fuse. But I'm guessing that's because the short was so close to the battery. But yeah, it didn't fry the battery either. But like I say, it did drain it when it happened, so I had to push start it. So yeah, the new cable is plenty long enough, so it won't be under any strain. Yeah, I think I'm gonna attach this battery terminal to the new one rather than using this terminal that came with it. And once I've cut that off, I will slide this rubber thing down the lead and have it in the right place. Got very limited tools here, and the cutter on these pliers is rubbish. Just about managed it. There we have it. Just going to put a cable tie around it just to hold it to the battery tray here. Time for me to go and get ready for work, but I'm going to continue this video at the weekend when I'm sure I'll be doing something car related. So I'll see you in a sec. Into the weekend, and it's Saturday evening. I was hoping to go around the garage today to spend a little bit of time on Maud, but I'll crack on with that tomorrow. During the week, my beautiful girlfriend Kat has been doing some DIY. And she's now painted all the walls in the kitchen. She has also painted the walls in the front room. Today, Kat and her dad done this wallpapering on the chimney breast area, and Kat has also now covered the fireplace in this fake marble look vinyl. Now, I was a bit skeptical about covering the fireplace in vinyl, to be honest, but it actually looks pretty good. Today is actually the last Saturday of the month, which means the Chelsea cruise is on, so we're going to head down there and see what's going on. With what's going on in the world at the moment, it might be dead down there, but if it is, we'll just go and have a look at the Christmas lights in London instead. And I know Kat is more keen to see the Christmas lights than she is to check out the cars at the Chelsea Cruise. I think I'm going to rock the lighter blue MH beanie hat tonight. And I think Kat fancies wearing the burgundy one. Well, we made it to Chelsea Bridge. There is a few classic Fords on the bridge. I came to the car park where the cars normally park, and there's no cars here. There's a little place selling Christmas trees though. I've got a bit of an issue. Starter motor ain't working. Alright, so I can push start this car pretty easily anyway, so it's not that much of a nightmare. But yeah, I want to figure out if it's the wiring or the starter motor. So I've got this length of wire. Touch one end on the positive terminal, and then I'm going to try and touch the other end on the starter. Yeah, it's sparking when I touch it on the trigger wire for the starter, but it's not turning the starter, so the starter motor must be broke. Oh well. Did you enjoy that?
So much fun.
Alright, we'll see if we can park on a downhill part of the bridge. Check out these old Mustangs, so cool. This one reminds me a little bit of Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Aaron's Mark II Fiesta, recently fitted the Revolution alloys. A shout out to Aaron's dad Matt as well, who just purchased a couple of stickers. Nice one, mate. Really original looking 105e Angular. Yeah, always see this nice Anglia down here. Apparently he's running a NA Cosy lump. Paris Powerhouse, Mexico. Marcus. Right, it seems like a lot of the cool Fords have done the off, so me and Kat are going to push start Maude and then go for a little trip around London to check out the Christmas lights. So before we push start the car on Chelsea Bridge, I'm just going to try and whack the starter motor with this. Sometimes when you give it a whack, you get another little go out of it before it completely dies. Yeah, the exhaust manifold's in the way, I can't really get a proper whack on it. Push start it is. Yeah, we're actually just driving around trying to kill some time because the congestion charge is operational until 10 PM nowadays. Obviously, with Maude being a historic vehicle, I don't have to pay the ultra low emission zone fee, but I'm still subject to the congestion charge. So once we've killed another 15 minutes, we can start heading towards the centre of town to have a look at the Christmas lights. Into the next day, and as I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to be spending a little bit of time on MAUDE today, but seeing as a starter motor died last night, that's another job that I've got to add to the list. My beautiful girlfriend Kat is just giving me a lift in Winston, the plastic Fiesta, to my other garage so that I can borrow the starter motor off of Esther, my ST170 powered Mark 1 Escort. Chicken and bacon wrap. And a Belgian bun. That's a good one. Yeah. Right, so I've made it to the other garage and I've got Esther out, joined by my mate Fred, who hasn't been on the channel a while. And Fred has added yet another beamer to his extensive fleet. Right, so as I say, I need to remove Esther's starter motor so that MAUDE can borrow it. And I thought I might actually be able to remove the starter motor without jacking her up, but I'm going to jack her up to make life easier. Right, so first things first, I'm going to disconnect the battery. One nut holding the trigger wire, and a 13mm nut holding the main wire, and 3 bolts holding the starter motor on. And there it is, one rear-wheel drive Zetec starter motor. So before I put Esther away, there is one thing I want to install quickly. Alright, so what I've got here is one of my new MH decals, or decals as some people call them. And yeah, I've decided to fit one of these either side on Esther's front wings there. Got the decal on the passenger side wing now as well, and I thought, why not stick one on the boot? If you want to get your hands on any of those MH decals, definitely check out my website at marcushayesuk.com. They're available in black and white. Definitely going to be sticking some of the white ones to Winston, and going to be sticking a couple of the white ones on MAUDE as well. Time for me to put Esther away and get out of here, because I still need to fit the starter motor to MAUDE when I get back home. Really need to get myself a second trolley jack. One thing I did notice recently about MAUDE's starter motor is this bit of the solenoid sort of moves. So I don't know if that's something to do with the reason why it broke. I'll probably take it apart one day and investigate. This is actually a Pinto starter motor, which is why I was running this spacer, whereas this one is actually to fit a rear-wheel drive Zetec setup. I'm not going to rush out and buy another one of these yet, because on MAUDE's new engine, the light flywheel that I'm going to be using is actually designed to run a Pinto starter motor. And I'm obviously in no rush to put Esther on the road now because it's nearly winter. One thing different about this starter motor is that the trigger wire is a bolt on, whereas this one is just a spade terminal. So I'm going to have to add a little ring terminal to the trigger wire so I can actually wire this starter motor up. But yeah, let's get it bolted on first. Right, so as I mentioned, I need to change this spade terminal for a ring terminal. Just check that this one's going to fit on the starter, which it is. Now's the moment of truth. Sweet. Yeah, it's a lot quieter than the old starter motor was as well. Now the other little job that I did have planned for today, I'm going to do in the morning before work, one day next week. But there is one thing I want to do quickly before it gets dark. I did try and put one on the boot in the same sort of area that I did on Esther earlier, but the decals don't really get on with this rollered on paint, but the car is dirty and damp, so that might be why. Back at home, and my beautiful girlfriend Kat has made me a fat pie dinner. It's been a busy weekend for merch. All the mugs have sold out again, but I do have more coming for those of you that missed out. The response for the new MH hats has been unbelievable. That's just 2 days worth of orders, so still another 3 days of the pre-order. I'm sure by the time this video goes up, the pre-order will be finished though. But yeah, massive thanks to everyone who has ordered a hat. If you ordered a hat and a mug in the same order, I will be holding on to the mugs until I get the hats, and I'll send them out to you in one package. But if you ordered stickers with your hats, then I will send them out straight away. As I mentioned earlier, I do have one more thing that I want to look at on MAUDE, and I'm going to be going around the garage to deal with that one day before work. So I'll see you in a sec. Right, so it's been a couple of days since the last clip, and I think it's now a week since I started this video. But before I do end this video, I want to talk about something that loads of you mentioned to me in the comments recently. Now, it involves the saga that is MAUDE's clutch and the rattle that it makes. Loads of you suggested that maybe the spring that's supposed to be on the clutch pedal was missing. Now, it's pretty hard to get the camera in there, but as you can see, the spring is indeed there. But I thought to myself, maybe the spring that's fitted is the wrong spring. You know, with this car being so old and having so many owners, maybe a previous owner put a different spring in there, or maybe the spring is worn and, you know, it's been stretched over time and it's not giving the correct amount of tension. So I went on eBay and I got myself a new clutch spring, and it actually came in a 2-part kit with the brake pedal spring as well. Now, that kit was from eBay, but it was from a company called Gartrack, who are renowned for high quality parts, including, ironically, their pedal boxes. So I'm pretty sure that this will be perfect. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the old spring out and fit this one and see if the clutch rattle is any better. Now, this job is gonna be impossible for me to film. In fact, it's gonna be a bit of a nightmare to do. So I'm just gonna fit this new spring and then I'll chat to you afterwards. Well, I've got the old spring off and it certainly looks the same as the new one. One thing I can see is with this one, the ends are, you know, 90 degrees turned in relation to each other, whereas on this one, they're both the same. Oh well. Alright, so the new spring is now installed. Now, that tab there on the pedal where the spring hooks onto, that was, you know, bent right out of the hole this way. I had to basically hammer it through, so I'm not sure if that's how it should be. But yeah, I suppose I should put it back how it was, because if anything, that's going to put the spring under more tension. Also, around the back, the old spring was hooked onto the back of that tab rather than going through the hole like it is now, which again would have put it under more tension than it is now. Yeah, I think before I touch anything, we'll just test it, see if there is a rattle still. But you know what? There is no rattle coming from that clutch now. I really didn't think this was going to work. But yeah, massive thanks to everyone who did suggest the clutch spring. Although it did have one fitted, it's obviously worn and stretched over time, and the new spring has sorted it right out. So if you're having a similar issue with your car, definitely go on eBay and get yourself a clutch spring. They also sell them separately, or you can buy it in the kit with the brake spring like I did. I'll leave a link to the eBay listing in the description of this video. So happy with that. Now, I do need to leave for work in a minute, because I was supposed to be there about half an hour ago, but before I do, I've got something else to show you. I've had yet more goodies through the post from the guys that manufacture my stickers. Now, I get so many messages from people saying that, you know, they'd love to support and represent the channel, but they don't necessarily own a classic Ford, or they don't necessarily want stickers that feature pictures of my cars. So yeah, I thought these would be a good design to release. Now, these are the same quality as my previous stickers. You know, they're printed on a vinyl-like material, die cut, very sticky, really durable. They're gloss laminated as well. And as usual with my stickers, UK postage is absolutely free, and worldwide shipping is just £1.50 extra. So these stickers along with the new MH decals, are now available on my website at marcushayesuk.com for any of you guys that fancy purchasing one. As always, no pressure. You know, the fact that so many of you watch and enjoy my videos is enough, but for those of you that would like to support and represent the channel, they're there for you. But now it's time for me to jump in this old beast and get myself to work. And we broke down. The throttle bar thing popped out. Clip's still there, luckily. We're all good. Come on, Maude, what are you doing to me? Yeah, I think it's the little bush that the rod passes through that holds the rod steady in the bracket. This time when I clicked the rod in to the clip on the actual throttle linkage, I think I clipped it in a bit further than it did last time, so hopefully it will stay put. But yeah, I need to get another one of those little plastic bushes or just araldite it onto the bracket. Drive a Mark II Escort as a daily, they said. It will be fun, they said. I'm going to take it easy now just to get her to work. Right, so I've made it to work and it's time for me to end this video. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new and you want to keep up to date with all my future uploads, and check the links in the description to my social media and my website. I'll also leave my email address down there for anyone who wants to contact me. Huge thanks to everyone for your continued support of my channel. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.